Good evening. I know I haven't streamed in a few days. Um, we had a little bit of a health issue passing around the family, but we're all fine now, and we get to go to see some theater tomorrow. So, anyways, today I want to relax with some AI art generation. I discovered a website called Leonardo.ai, so we're just gonna browse and experiment and play around. And I also have opened a Chat GPT window and to generate some prompts because I'm not feeling particularly creative for prompt creation tonight. A lot of AI generative art is based on text prompts, and if you leave that to me, it's not really going to be very creative. So I have ChatGPT open to help us with that as well. But tonight's more about the visual side of AI content creation. Let's go ahead and go over to Leonardo. So this is what the website looks like. You can see some recent images on the bottom here. Wow, some of these are really amazing. Yeah, even the least artistically talented person, thanks to AI, can become the next Bob Ross now, it looks like. Yeah. AI art might be. In fact, I know AI art is considered by many to be controversial, and I can see why seeing this recent creations. All right. There's a couple different tools here: real-time generation, image generation, the real-time canvas, uh, generative video. All right. All right, so let's go ahead and this is on the feed. It said something about video generation. Oh, so it has to be one of your own, of course. All right. Well, you can do a source image. Let's do the sketch I uploaded before. Okay, you can't upload on the free plan. Okay, we have to wait to generate something before we try this video thing. That's all right. What's Canvas Editor? Okay, that looks... Now let's try the real-time canvas. And let's go ahead and make a thickish brush. And let's draw a purple star and see what happens. I don't know where the blue is coming from. Let's try that again. Let's do a reset and draw. Alright, so we have different choices here. So this is the star as it would have been drawn by an anime artist. I'll, Cinematic turns my star into a beautiful flower. I like Leonardo already. Let's keep going and see what the different choices are. Concept art gives me this sci-fi soldier-looking character. Dynamic gives me the same star, but with somebody's hand making a gesture into the shot. Environment, we see the star and kind of a gothic uh, mausoleum, maybe. Fantasy art, it's just a star modified to look like crystals. If we make it a painting, It's just the star with a... Yeah, that's cool too. Photography makes the star... It makes it turns into some kind of lighting effect. If we go product, then we see some kind of retro tech, and the star is like a laser light. If we go ray trace, we just see the star. Sketch will turn the star into just a sketch. Vibrant basically just straightens up the lines and makes the star a little bit brighter. And no filter means we just get the star with this random guy in the bottom who came from nowhere. What's in paint? I'm not gonna switch modes yet. So now that we have the star, let's get some green and let's draw a little face inside the star. And now if we come through, why is the face not showing up? We just messed up. Alright. Output to input looks like it takes the picture and bounces it back into the canvas. So let's start over. Let's redraw our purple star, and then we'll draw our face inside. But let's draw slightly thinner lines and let's make the star bigger. And that actually got rid of the little blue man at the bottom. So we must have bugged it out somehow before. So let's come back and draw our green face. And now if we come through the prompts, I don't know why it's not picking up the face. Alright, it didn't update the drawing for some reason. Let's take a medium-sized brush here and let's make orange. And we'll put some kind of atmosphere around the back of the star. Alright, there we go. Now it's doing things. It's still not picking up the face, though. Alright, so that's what it looks like with the default, with no filter. Now let's go through. It's still not picking up the face, but this one put in kind of a fiery sky there. Cinematic, I don't even know how to interpret that picture. Interesting. We could just make random shapes and see what comes up on concept art, because that looks like a fun feature. Alright, so I think what's going on here is my face is not drawn thick enough. Ooh. Ray Trace actually creates some kind of alien lady at the bottom and turns the orange sky into what looks like futuristic theater lights. Alright, let's reset the canvas again. We're going to draw our star one more time. But we're going to make it bigger. And the reason we're making it bigger is so we can accommodate the face. Maybe the face was too small to be picked up. No, it's still not picking up the face. Maybe it doesn't like that color green. Let's try a different green. Maybe this more of a tealish green. We're still not, it's still not picking it up. Okay, so green needs to be really, really big in order to show up. So I'll tell you what we're going to do. We're going to make the star green. We're going to make the star green. That's too big. And we're going to give the star a purple face because the star is picking up. All right, now it looks like we're picking up the face. And now let's come back and get our orange fiery background. And now we can let's see what we've made in the different filters. Okay, our anime, we've made some kind of ghost star thing. That actually is kind of pretty. Cinematic just erases the face. It doesn't really do much otherwise. Concept art also erases the face. In dynamic, we don't really have a face, but we have the other details. Okay, I like environment. I think we're going to play around with random shapes and making environments. That's a lead to start with here. Photography is interesting. It turns the orange sky into what looks like lumps of cheese, and it turns the face into some kind of black sphere. Interesting. Ray Traced adds a monster mouth to it. Weird. Alright. The next thing we're going to do, we're going to go to blue. And we're just going to write the word Eevee on the canvas and see what happens with that. My brush is too big. Let's start over. Interesting, as I write in the name, we're seeing various generations of people. Weird random fantasy people. Alright, that means nothing, but let's see how it comes out elsewhere. Anime, we just see a bunch of random blue anime heads. And then a head in the bottom that doesn't appear to be generated from anything. Cinematic is useless. Concept art gives us a dark room, two guys sitting in a dark room. It looks like a retro kind of situation. Dynamic, we get a random generation of a blue-faced fantasy creature, fantasy person, I mean, and behind him some random letters. Environment just gives us a dark room, lights out, bluish tint. Interesting. Fantasy art gives us the Aurora Borealis. Painting gives us a random guy facing away from us and what looks like a silhouette of a forest in front of blue lights. Photography, it's a guy in a headband. Product gives us what looks like a top view of some kind of weird professional camera. Ray traced, we get what looks like some kind of angel above a shadowed person. Sketch just gives us random lines, it looks like. So yeah, this mode doesn't like letters. And Vibrant gives us, it looks like a city landscape looking out a window with a weird blue sky. All right. Let's draw a yellow spiral. With no input, it looks like we have random orange circles with spider webs. Yeah, this is actually pretty fun seeing what it comes up with. Anime gives us a monster eye surrounded by circles. Cinematic, we just see the orange spiral. Concept art, we see the spiral, but with two guys, one standing and one falling. They look like army men. Dynamic, we have what looks like a spiral with a arrow, like an archer's arrow in front. Fantasy art just gives us what looks like a lit up tunnel interior. Painting is a spiral with random splotches of color and what looks like a person in one of the splotches of color. That's interesting. That almost looks like an eye. Oh. Is that a little bit of a robot I see in that one? Sketch color gives us an eyeball. Interesting. All right. Let's just do something teal real quick. Let's just see what happens if I make... Let's just see what happens if I cover the canvas with teal scribbles. That turns it into a fantasy landscape of sorts. Cinematic filter is nice. It gives us a little bit of a character. It's a girl in the forest. I don't know where it gets that from. What I Well, there are those black border sections. The concept art is fun. There's a giant robot in the back and a man for scale. So it looks like these are all variations on fantasy backdrop. There's another giant robot. Painting is just an abstract art take on the same thing. Wow, that's almost creepy. Interesting. Ray Trace gives us Ray Trace gives us a bit of a. It looks like a UFO landing in a forest. Excuse me. I like the way this turned out, but let's change it up a little bit. Let's come over here to purple and add a purple section over here in the corner. Let's basically create an abstract palette here using what we made as a base. That's interesting how that just changed the whole picture. Let's add an orange section. Now it looks like the AI doesn't know what to do. And now let's add some green in. And we'll leave that other bottom section black for now. And let's also bring in a white. Kind of towards... Alright, I can't find white on the spectrum. Eight would be max out hex, right? And we're just gonna... That's too big. I think that's too big. I want to make that thinner. I want to create a streak of white going through the blue section. Like that. Alright, now let's take a look at what the filters come up with for this. Random splotches of color. So anime gives us kind of a... Anime doesn't know how to interpret this. But it looks like it's a city in the background. And then weird stuff going on in the sky. Well, the green and the orange look like they're trees. The purple could be a weird cloud. Ooh, cinematic is nice. That's almost a tropical paradise kind of look. Out of focus fruit in the foreground, of course. Concept art is interesting. It looks like a desert landscape with a mountain in the back. No idea what the green and the purple are supposed to be. Dynamic is just abstract art, but with cleaner shapes. That's a good environment. I like the way environment turned out. You can tell what everything is supposed to be here. Fantasy art, similar look to that. The painting is interesting. Photography, we get into random light blobs. Not sure what's going on there. Product and Ray Trace didn't really come out so well with this. They don't know how to handle these color shapes, I don't think. Anyway, let's take a look at another mode now. Let's look at prompt generation. We need to type a prompt. Let me try Epcot built out of Lego. Oh, it takes tokens to generate? Yeah, we're not doing this mode. I'm only in free mode today, so I have to do whatever it lets me do for free. What about real-time generation? Real-time. So if I type in Epcot, and actually it changes every time I add a character, so Epcot, and let's turn filter back to none for this one as well. Epcot is built out of Lego. Alright, I'm not really seeing the Lego there. In space. How about we just say, Epcot is built in space. That has a spaceship looking thing to the front, but still, no. A Lego spaceship is built orbiting Earth. Okay, you can kind of see the Lego in that. Alright, let's take a look at the filters. That's the Lego spaceship as it would appear in an anime, apparently. Cinematic is nice, that's cool. Dynamic is cool. Environment gives us a more traditional looking spacecraft. Oh, that's cool. The painting, I like the painting. As a photograph, it's pretty awesome too. As a product, we get kind of a colorful Death Star. Weird. The ray trace gives us something similar. I like that sketch. Alright. There is a castle in space with a dragon. Okay, that's what it looks like with no filters. I like that picture. That's a fun picture. Let's look at the different filters. The anime interpretation gives us Cinderella's castle from Disney, but totally takes away the dragon. Cinematic also takes away the dragon. Dynamic is exactly the same as we had with no filter, or pretty much the same. Okay, environment does give us the castle with the dragon in the background. If we go painting, we lose the dragon, but we get some planets. I don't know what product means in this context, but that's a beautiful arrangement. It looks like an art project I did for a class in college. Okay, this color sketch doesn't give us color, but it does restore the dragon, which wasn't in the BW sketch. Interesting. If we have the prompt completely blank, rock band whose members are a turtle, a lion, and an elephant. Okay, it doesn't like that. It doesn't like that. All right. An elephant, turtle, and lion make a rock band. Well, the turtle turned into a monkey. No, a half monkey, half lion thing. So, an elephant, turtle, and lion are fighting a robot. Against a robot? No, still not getting there. A robot turtle is fighting against an alien elephant. Well, the turtle stayed robot, but the elephant's not really an alien. In the city, we have a half elephant, half turtle robot. My prompt may be too complicated, I guess. If we go just with kids illustration, that doesn't do anything. No. I'm not going to play with these, but... So a robot turtle is fighting against an alien elephant in the city. And what you see here is a creature that is a robot turtle elephant. Let's look at the filters. Okay, the anime filter kind of makes sense. This gives us a little fight. We do have a turtle creature. We do have an elephant creature. Okay, cinematic gives us something that almost looks like something out of Power Rangers or something. So it looks like the rest are going to be variations on this theme. Painting gives us two robot turtle elephant things. And here we have them fighting against a robot. Just a standard robot. I have no idea what that creature on the right is supposed to be, but we still have our robot elephant turtle. All right, let's reset. Let's see what happens if we type in the phrase main 6 from My Little Pony. We do have in My Little Pony interpretations here. Main 6 are aboard a pirate ship. Alright, it's just generic My Little Ponies. I do recognize Twilight in the front, but other than that, it looks like these are just random pony generations. But it does like our... So I'm just going to say My Little Ponies are aboard a pirate ship. So here's our no filter. The anime interpretation is pretty. I like that picture. Cinematic makes them into photorealistic ponies. That's kind of fun, cute, slightly weird. Dynamic gives us a lot of ponies aboard this pirate ship. Environment gives us a two-headed pony. Photography gives us pony statues. And product gives us... Is this the new Gen 5 style that I keep hearing about? Anyway, I like this more 3D look. The sketch just gives us regular horses. But Color Sketch brings it back to the My Little Pony style. My Little Ponies are built with Lego. So Lego My Little Pony in space. There we go. A Lego My Little Pony astronaut in space. Let's take a look at the filters. The anime style doesn't change up too much. I like that look, actually. It's not really Lego, but close enough. It's got the aesthetic. This is clearly meant to be Lego, but you can tell it's not actual Lego. It's not going to be, though. It's cool. This is also a good look. Let's just look through these different space ponies. I like this one. This might be my favorite of this prompt. The sketches are interesting. Oh, that's weird. What's going on with this one? I have to find out. What happens if I just type the word Shayna? I just get a random kid. Okay. Alright, that works. Shayna is a superhero. Let's look at the filters. Let's move away from that one. That's probably the best one. Although she doesn't have glasses. These are all too adult, though. Yeah, pretty much all giving us the same. Is this a Captain Marvel inspiration, maybe? That one actually looks a bit like her. Let's try this. Let's put her age in. Now we're getting somewhere. Yeah, now all these superheroes should look like kids now. But none of them look like her, so we're going to move on to a different prompt. That one looks a bit like her. Yeah. All right. New prompt. What happens if I just type the phrase Darth Lego? We're defaulting to Darth Vader. We need something a little more. Now Darth Vader's a Darth Jack Sparrow, maybe? And that's just Jack Sparrow with some dark face paint. I don't see how. Let me try. Jack Sparrow is a Sith. We're still not getting anywhere with this prompt. Dark Lord of the Sith is an evil Dark Lord. We're still just getting Jack Sparrow. Let's try something else. Darth Turtle is fighting against Captain. What should we do here? Captain. Who's cool? Who's cool? Captain Israel? The Israel doesn't come forward. Alright, I'm abandoning that one. Let's just type in Captain Israel and see what comes up. Okay. Well, he's got the blue and white color scheme. Wrong star. Let's just go down the list and see what we see here. He looks cool. They all seem to do the same star, though. That's just Captain America. What if I make Captain Anubis? Ah, that's a cool look for him. What's the Captain Anubius? Did I say Anubius? I meant Anubis. Captain Anubis at Rivendell, maybe? Oh, that's a cool picture. Let's look at the filters. Oh, we disconnected for a moment, so I'm going to go through the Captain Anubis again. I have no idea why we disconnected. Okay, that's a cool one. I like how the ray traced one, it goes from the humanoid look of Anubis to his straight dog look. And this gives him a more human appearance. If I type in the word Ikron, I want a Pandoran Banshee. In Pandora, they're known as Ikron. Well, here's a green skin take on a Na'vi. Let's see. Yeah, that's not it at all. Something in Morrowind. Something it'll recognize. The Na'vi from Avatar. That almost looks like a Morrowind village, but the Na'vi is totally the wrong color. Let's just see what happens. That's not a Na'vi, and that's not Morrowind. Oh, that might be the greener area of Morrowind. I don't think this prompt is as successful. Oh, we get a little bit of a mushroom building there. That's more of a Morrowind thing. Yeah, but these aren't Na'vi. They're the wrong color. This one is the right color, but totally... It still doesn't look like a Na'vi, though. Let's try Morrowind Theme Park and see what happens. Okay. That architecture style isn't exactly on point, but let's see what comes up. It's not perfect, but I'm liking the look. Alright, what happens if I just type the phrase, "May the Force be with you"? I get a stormtrooper holding a lightsaber blaster? And becomes a clone trooper if I add an exclamation mark. Interesting. Let's look at the filters. Anime gives us this. This looks like it would fit right in with the Star Wars Visions project, which is where they do shorts made by different anime studios. You can see a Wookiee. Not sure what that green thing is supposed to be. I can see Ewoks and a bounty hunter back here. I like the anime interpretation. Cinematic gives us a stormtrooper holding a blaster. Dynamic gives us the clone trooper holding the blaster lightsaber. Environment gives us a spaceship on legs. On what looks to be Tatooine, but could be Jakku, Jeddah, Pisana, Korriban, or any number of other rocky desert planets. Painting, we're still going with the Stormtrooper theme. As with photography, most of these are... This looks like a mini Death Star inside a spaceship. Same deal here. Sketch gives us Vader, except he's holding what looks like to be a staff weapon or a blaster instead of a lightsaber. Sketch color, he doesn't get color, but just a close-up on his face. And Vibrant gives us some kind of rebel lady, maybe a senator. So let's try something else. Let's try Mandalorian children at Epcot. Because we haven't really done anything satisfying with Epcot yet. Let's just go through the filters. Interesting. That's a Mandalorian with children. The background doesn't really look like Epcot, though. Alright. Federation Starship. Let's just see what comes up. Star Trek ships. Yeah, those don't look... Well, maybe a little... What if I just type Deep Space Nine? That's not the crew of Deep Space Nine, but they are... Deep Space Nine... Orbiting... Coruscant? Okay, so a city planet with a space station above it. That's with no filter. That's clearly not Deep Space Nine, but I appreciate the attempt at that picture. That at least looks a little bit like a standard Federation starbase. None of these look like Deep Space Nine, though. But still, they have a good look. And all right. Angels at Island Castle. All right, let's pick the best one from this slot. To be our exit picture. I do like this site. I'm definitely going to be coming back here again to play around. Maybe even with you guys. We'll see. But for tonight, I think we need to call it here. So let's... Yeah, let's go with that as the exit picture. Let's see who we're rating. Ooh, Terran's on. We'll rate Terran Seattle tonight. Oh, we have a exception going on. There's the picture again. Have a good night, and I'll see you soon.